Hey guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read 2 Chronicles 25 to 30, Proverbs 2, and Psalm 7. Let's get started. Amaziah was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehoiada of Jerusalem, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. He had known with the whole heart, and as soon as the royal power found him, he killed his servants who had struck down the king's father. And he did not put their children to death, according to what is written in the law, in the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded. Fathers shall not die because of their children, nor children die because of their father. Each one shall die for his own sin. And Amaziah assembled the men of Judah, and set them by father's houses under the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, all Judah and Benjamin. He mustered those 20 years old and found that they were 300,000 choice men, faithful, able to hand a spear and shield. He had hired extra 100,000 mighty men of valor from Israel for 100 tons of silver. Now the man of God came to him and said, O king, do not let the army of Israel go with you. The Lord is not with you, and God will cast you down. And if all these Ephraimites go, act, be strong for the battle. Why should you suppose that God will cast you down before your enemy? And God has power horrible to cast down. And Amaziah said to the man of God, what shall we do about the 100 tons that I have given to the army of Israel? The man of God answered, the Lord is able to give you much more than this. And Amaziah discharged the army that had come to him from Ephraim to go him again. And they became very angry with Judah and returned home in fierce anger. But Amaziah took courage and led out his people and went to Seir, ran on the yoke of salt, and struck down 10,000 men of Seir. And the men of Judah captured another 10,000 alive and took them to the top of the rock and threw them down from the top of the rock. And they were all dashed to pieces. And the men of the army whom Amaziah sent back, not letting go with him to go, raided the cities of Judah from Samaria to Bethel. And struck down 3,000 people in them and took much spoil. And after Amaziah came from striking down the enemies, he brought the gods of Manasseh and set them up his place, and worshipped them and making offerings to them. Therefore the Lord was angry with Amaziah and said to the prophet, he said to him, why have you sought the gods from the people who didn't deliver their own people from your hand? As he was speaking, the king said to him, have we made you a royal council? Stop, why should you be stricken? So the prophet stopped, but I said, I knew that God is determined to destroy you, because you have done this and have not listened to my counsel. And Amaziah king of Judah took counsel, and said to Joash the son of Jehoiada, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, come, let's look one another in the face. And Joash the king of Israel sent word to Amaziah king of Judah, as this one the band said to a sailor on the river, saying, and they gave your daughter to many sand for a way, and a wild beast of the band passed by and trampled down the thistle. Say, see, I have struck down Adam, and your heart has lifted you up in boastfulness. And now stay at home. Why should you provoke trouble so that you fall, and you and Judah with you? But Amaziah would not listen for the oaths of God, in order that he might kill them. And so how their enemies, because they sought the gods of Adam. As Joash king of Israel went out, and he and Amaziah king of Judah faced one another in battle at Beth-Shemesh, which belongs to Judah. And Judah was defeated by Israel, and every man fled to his home. And Joash the king of Israel captured Amaziah king of Judah, his son Joash, son of Ahaziah, at Beth-Shemesh, and brought him to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem for 400 cubits. And the Ephraim gate to the corn gate, he seized with the gold and silver, and all the vessels were found in the house of God, and the king of Obed-Edom. He seized also the treasuries of the king's house, and set hostages, and he returned to Samaria. And Amaziah the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived 15 years after the death of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel. And the rest of the deeds of Amaziah from first to last are they not written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel? From the time when he turned away from the Lord, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent him after him to Lachish and put him to death there. And they brought him upon horses, and he was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. He built Elath and restored it to Judah after the king slept with his father. Uzziah was 16 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jecholiah of Jerusalem, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to what his father Amaziah had done. He established himself to seek God in the days of Zechariah, and instructed him in the fear of God, and as long as he sought the Lord, God made him prosper. He went and made war against the Philistines, and broke through the wall of Gath, and the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod. And he built cities in the territory of Ashdod and elsewhere among the Philistines. God helped him against the Philistines and against the Arabians who lived in Geba, and against the Meunites. The Ammonites paid tribute to Uzziah, and his fame spread even to the border of Egypt, when he became very strong. Moreover, Uzziah built towns in Jerusalem, at the corner gate, and at the valley gate, and at the angle, and fortified them. And he built towers in the wilderness, and cut out many cisterns. He had large heads both in the shuffle and in the play, and he had farmers and were dresses in the hills and in the fertile land, who loved the sun. Moreover, Lydia had an army of soldiers fit for war, in divisions according to the numbers and the muster made by Geo the secretary, and Masseth also under the direction of Hananiah, one of the king's men. The whole number of the heads of farmhouses and valued men of Val was 2,600. And under their command was a number of 307,500, who could make war with mighty power to help the king against the enemy. And Lydia prepared for all the army's shields, spears, helmets, coats, and arrow bows, and stones for sling. In Jerusalem he made the machines invented by skillful men to be on the towers and the corners, to shoot arrows and great stones. And his fame spread far, for he was marvelous, and they helped till he was strong. And when he was strong, he grew proud, chose destruction, for he was unfaithful to the Lord his God, and entered the temple of the Lord to burn incense on the altar of incense. And Uzziah the priest went in after him, with the 80 priests of the Lord, who were men of valor. And they understood King Uzziah and said to him, "Is it not for you, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord? Therefore the priests, the sons of Aaron, who were consecrated to burn incense, go to the sanctuary, for you have done wrong. And they will bring you to no honor from the Lord God." And Uzziah was very angry. Now he had his sons in his hand to burn incense, and he became angry with the priest. Leprosy broke out in his forehead in the presence of the priest and in the house of the Lord. By the altar of incense. And Uzziah the chief priest and all the priests looked at him, and behold, he was leprous in the forehead. And they rushed him out quickly, and he himself hurried to go, because the Lord had struck him. And King Uzziah was leper to the day of his death, and being a leper lived in a separate house, where he was excluded from the house of the Lord. And Jotham his son was over the king's house, governing the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, from first to last, Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, were. And Uzziah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the burial field that belonged to the king. And they said, "He is a leper." And Jotham his son reigned in his place. Jotham was 25 years old, and he began to reign. And he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jerusha, the daughter of Zarah, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that his father Uzziah had done. Except he did not enter the temple of the Lord, but the people still followed corrupt practices. He built the upper gate of the house of the Lord, and did much building in the wall of Ophel. Moreover, he built cities in the hill country of Judah, and forts and towers on the wooded hills. He fought the king of the Ammonites. He fought with the king of the Ammonites and prevailed against him. And the Ammonites gave him that year 100 talents of silver, and 10,000 quarts of wheat, and 10,000 of barley. The Ammonites paid him the same amount in the second and third year. So Jotham became mighty, because he ordered his place before the Lord his God. And was the acts of Jotham and all his wars in his way. They are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Judah. So Jotham slept with his father, and they buried him in the sea of Judah, and Ahaz his son reigned in his place. Ahaz was 20 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And he did not do what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as his father David had done, and then he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel. He even made metal images for the Baals, and made offerings of the son of Hannah, and burned his sons as an offering, and according to the abominations of the nations, whom the Lord drove out before the people of Israel. And he sacrificed and made offerings on the high places in the hills and under every green tree. Therefore the Lord his God gave him into the hand of the king of Syria, who defeated him and took captive a great number of the people and brought it to Syria. Brought him to Damascus. He was also given into the hand of the king of Israel, who struck him with great force. When Pekah the son of Remaliah killed 120,000 from Judah in one day, all the men of Val, because they forsaken the Lord, the God of their fathers. And as Zitri and mighty man of Ephraim killed Mass and the king's son, as Recan, the command of the palace, and Elkanah the next in authority to the men of Israel took captive 200,000 of their relatives, women, sons, and daughters, and took much spoil from them and brought the spoil to Samaria. Now the prophet of the Lord was there. His name was Odin, and he went out to meet the army that came to Samaria, and said to them, "Behold, the Lord, the God of your fathers, was angry with you. He gave them into your hand, but you have killed them in a way that has reached up to heaven. And now you intend to subjugate the people of Judah and Jerusalem. Now in fear, as just like, are you not sins of your own against the Lord your God? Now hear me, and send back the captives from your relatives whom you were taken. And the fierce wrath of the Lord is upon you." 7 chiefs also of the men of Ephraim, Azariah the son of Johanan, Berechiah the son of Meshillemoth, Jehizkiah the son of Shal, and Amasa the son of Habli stood up against those who were coming from the war, and said to them, "You shall not bring the captives in here, for you propose to bring upon us guilt against the Lord, in addition to our present sin and guilt. For your guilt is already great, and there is fierce wrath against Israel." So the armed men left the captives and spoiled before the princes and all the assembly. And the man who had been mentioned by name rose and took the captives, and with the spoil they clothed all who were naked among them. They clothed them, gave them sandals, provided them with food and drink, and anointed them, and carrying all the feeble among them on donkeys. They brought them to the king's park at Jericho, where they stood palm trees, and they returned to Samaria. At that time King Ahaz sent to the king of Assyria for help. Well, the Edomites had again invaded and defeated Judah and carried away captives. Now Philistines had made raids in the cities in the Shephelah, and the Negev of Judah, and had taken Bethshemesh, Aijalon, and Gederoth, Soko with his villages, Timnah with his villages, and Ginzah with his villages. And they saw that the Lord humbled Judah, because of Ahaz king of Israel, for he had made Judah accidentally and had been very unfaithful to the two worth Philistine. The king of Assyria came against him and afflicted him and set strengthening him. So Ahaz took a portion from the house of the Lord and the house of the king and the princes, and gave tribute to the king of Assyria, but it did not help him. In the time of his distress he became yet more faithless to the Lord. And this time, in this same king Ahaz, we sacrificed to the gods of Damascus that had defeated him, said, "If the gods of the kings shall help, I'll sacrifice to them, and they may help me." But there the ruin of him and all was up, and Ahaz gathered together the vessels of the house of the God, and cut in pieces the vessels of the house of God, and he shut up the doors of the house in the Lord. And he made himself altars in every corner of Jerusalem. In every city of Judah he made him places to make offerings to other gods, and provoking to anger the Lord, the God of his father. Now the rest of his acts and all his ways from first to last, they are written in the book of the kings of Judah, and in Jerusalem, and the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. And Ahaz slept with his father, and they buried him in the sea in Jerusalem, because they did not bring him into the tombs of the kings of Israel. And Hezekiah's son reigned in his place. Hezekiah began to reign when he was 25 years old, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Abijah, the daughter of Zechariah, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that David his father had done. And in the first year of his reign, in the first month, he opened the doors of the house of the Lord and repaired them. He brought in the priests and the Levites and assembled them in the square on the east, and said to them, "Hear me, Levites, now consecrate yourselves, and consecrate the house of the Lord, the God of your father, and carry out the filth from the holy place. For our fathers have been unfaithful and have done what was evil in the sight of the Lord our God. They have forsaken him and turned away their faces from the habitation of the Lord and turned their back. They also shut the doors of the rest of the Lord and put out the lamp and not burned the incense or offered burnt offerings in the holy place to the Lord God of Israel. Therefore the wrath of the Lord came on Judah and Jerusalem, and he's made them an object of horror, of astonishment, and of hissing, as you see with your own eyes. For behold, our fathers have fallen by the sword, and our own sons and our daughters and our wives are in captivity for this. Now it is in my heart to make a covenant with the Lord, the God of Israel, in order that his fierce anger may turn away from us. My sons, do not now be no children. The Lord has chosen you to stand in his presence, and to minister to him, and to be his ministers, and make offerings to him. And the Levites rose. And Ahab the son of Amasai, and Joel the son of Azariah, of the sons of the Kohathites, and of the sons of Merari, Kish the son of Abdi, and Azariah the son of Jehalelel, and of the Gershonites, Joel the son of Zillah, and Eden the son of Joel, and of the sons of Elisabeth, Shimri and Joel, and of the sons of Asaph, Zechariah and Mattaniah, and of the sons of Heman, Jehuel and Shimeah, and of the sons of Joseph, Shemaiah and Israel. And they gathered their brothers and consecrated themselves and went into the house, ran in as the king's command, by the words of the Lord, to cleanse the house. The priests went into the inner part of the house of the Lord to cleanse it, and they brought out all the uncleanness that they found in the temple of the Lord, and to call the house of the Lord. And the Levites took and carried it out to the brook Kidron, and they began to consecrate it on the first day of the first month. And for on the 8th day of the month they came to the vestibule of the Lord, and for 8 days they consecrated the house of the Lord. And on the 16th day of the first month they finished. He went up to Hezekiah, the king, and said, "We have cleaned all the house of the Lord, the altar of burnt offering, and all its utensils, and the table for the showbread and all its utensils, and all the utensils that King Ahaz discarded in his reign when he was faithless, they have made ready and consecrated. And behold, they are before the altar of the Lord." And Hezekiah the king rose early and gathered the officials of the city and went out to the house of the Lord. And they brought 7 bulls, 7 rams, 7 lambs, and 7 male goats for sin offering for the kingdom and for the sanctuary and for Judah. And he commanded the priests and the sons of Aaron sunset and to offer them on the altar. So they slaughtered the bulls, and the priests received the blood and threw it against the altar. And they slaughtered the rams, and their blood was thrown against the altar. And they slaughtered the lambs, and their blood was thrown against the altar. Then the goats with the sin offering were brought to the king and to the assembly, and they laid their hands on it. And the priests slaughtered them and made a sin offering with their blood on the altar to make atonement for Israel. And the king commanded that the burnt offering and the sin offering should be made for Israel. And he stationed the Levites in the house of the Lord with cymbals, harps, and lyres, according to the commandment of David and of Gad the king, C.Jun, and Nathan the prophet. For the commandment was from the Lord through his prophets. And the Levites did with the instruments of David, and the priests with the trumpets. And Hezekiah commanded that the burnt offering be offered on the altar. When the burnt offering began, songs of the Lord began Osir, and the trumpets, accompanied by the instruments of David the king of Israel. The whole assembly worshipped, and the singers sang, and the trumpeters sounded. All these continued until the burnt offering was finished. And when the offering was finished, the king and all who were present with him bowed themselves in worship. And Hezekiah the king and the officials commanded the Levites to sing praises to the Lord with the words of David and of Asaph the seer. And they sang praises with gladness, and they bowed down in worship. And Hezekiah said, "You have not consecrated yourselves to the Lord. You bring sacrifices and thank offerings to the house of the Lord." And the assembly brought sacrifices and thank offerings. And those who were of the willing heart brought burnt offerings. The number of the burnt offerings that the assembly brought was 70 bulls, 100 lambs, and 200 lambs. All these were for burnt offerings to the Lord. And the consecrated offerings were 600 bulls, and 3,000 sheep. And the priests were too few and could not flay all the burnt offerings. So until other priests had consecrated themselves, their brothers the Levites helped them, until the work was finished. The Levites were more upright in heart than in the priests, and consecrated themselves. Besides, the great number of burnt offerings, there was the fat of the peace offerings, and there was the drink offerings for the burnt offerings. Thus the peace in the house, thus the service of the house of the Lord was restored. And Hezekiah and all the people rejoiced, because God had provided for the people, for the thing came about suddenly. And Hezekiah sent to all Israel and Judah, and wrote letters to Ephraim and Manasseh, that they should come to the house of the Lord at Jerusalem to keep the Passover to the Lord, the God of Israel. For the king and his princes and all the assembly in Jerusalem had taken counsel to keep the Passover in the second month. But they could not keep it at that time, because the priests had not consecrated themselves in sufficient number, nor had the people assembled in Jerusalem. The plan seemed right to the king and all the assembly, so they just agreed to make a proclamation throughout all Israel, from Beersheba to Dan, that the people should come and keep the Passover to the Lord, the God of Israel. And at Jerusalem they had not kept it as often as prescribed. So the couriers went throughout all Israel and Judah with letters from the king and his princes, as the king had commanded, saying, "O people of Israel, return to the Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, that he may turn again to the remnant of you who have escaped from the hand of the king of Assyria. Do not be like your fathers and your brothers, who were faithless before to the Lord God of their fathers, so that he made them a desolation, as you see. Do not now be stiff-necked as your fathers were, but yield yourselves to the Lord and come to a sanctuary, which he has consecrated forever. And says the Lord your God, that this fierce anger may turn away from you. For if you return to the Lord, your brothers and your children will find compassion with your captors and return to this land. The Lord your God is gracious and merciful, and will not turn away his face from you if you return to him." And so the couriers went from sea to sea through the country of Ephraim and Manasseh, and Father Zebulun, but they laughed at them to scorn and mocked them. However, some men of Asher, of Manasseh, and of Zebulun humbled themselves and came to Jerusalem, and the God was Israel and Judah to give them one heart to do what the king and the princes commanded by the word of the Lord. And many people came together in Jerusalem to keep the feast of unleavened bread. In the second month, a very great assembly, they set to work and removed the altars that were in Jerusalem, and all the altars for burning incense they took away and threw into the brook Kidron. And they slaughtered the Passover lamb on the 14th day of the second month, and the priests and the Levites worshipped, so that they consecrated themselves and brought burnt offerings into the house of the Lord. And they took their custom posts according to the law of Moses, the man of God. The priests threw their blood, the blood that they received from the hand of Levi, as there were many in the assembly who would not consecrate themselves. Therefore the Levites had to slaughter the Passover lamb for everyone who was not clean, to consecrate it to the Lord. The majority of the people, many of them from Ephraim, Manasseh, Isaac, and Zebulun, had not cleansed themselves, yet they ate the Passover, otherwise their nurse prescribed. But Hezekiah had prayed for them, saying, "There's a good will upon everyone who sets his heart to seek God, the Lord, the God of his fathers, even though not according to the sanctuary's rules or cleanness." And the Lord heard Hezekiah and healed the people. And the people of Israel who were present at Jerusalem kept the feast of unleavened bread 7 days with great gladness. And then the Levites and the priests praised the Lord day by day, singing with all their might to the Lord. And Hezekiah spake encouragingly to all the Levites who showed good skill in the service of the Lord. So they ate the food of the festival for 7 days, sacrificing peace offerings and giving thanks to the Lord, the God of their fathers. And the whole assembly agreed together to keep the feast for another 7 days. So they kept it for another 7 days with gladness. So Hezekiah king of Judah gave the assembly 1,000 bulls and 7,000 sheep for offering. And the princes gave the assembly 1,000 bulls and 10,000 sheep. And the priests consecrated themselves in great numbers, the whole assembly of Judah, and the priests of the Levites, and the whole assembly that came out of Israel, and the sojourners who came out of the land of Israel, and the sojourners who lived in Judah rejoiced. There was great joy in Jerusalem, for since the time of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, they had made nothing like this in Jerusalem. And the priests and the Levites arose and blessed the people, and the voice was heard, and the prayer came to his holy habitation in heaven. Proverbs 2. My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commandments with you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding, yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search first for hidden treasures, and then you'll understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, for his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He shows sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, guiding the paths of justice and watching over the way of his saints. Then you'll understand righteousness and justice and equity, every good path. For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you, understanding will guide you, delivering you from the way of evil, from men and perverse speech. You forsake the path of uprightness to walk in the way of darkness. You rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perverseness of evil. Men who are paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. So you'll be delivered from the forbidden one and from the idolaters with a smooth word. He forsakes the command of youth and forgets the covenant of God. But it has since down to death, and no path to depart. Nor they go to come back, nor they do they regain the path of life. Who walk in the way of good and keep to the path of the righteous. While the upright will inhabit the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous will be rooted out of it. Psalm 7. O Lord my God, in you do I take refuge. Save me from all my pursuers and deliver me, lest like a lion they tear my soul apart, rending it in pieces with none to deliver. O Lord my God, if I have done this, if there is wrong in my hands, or if I have repaid my friend with evil, or plundered my enemy without cause, let the enemy pursue my soul and overtake it. Let him tremble to my life to the ground, lay my glory in the dust. Arise, O Lord, in your anger. Lift yourself up against the fury of my enemies. And wait for me. You have appointed a judgment. Let the assembly of the peoples be gathered about you. And over it return on high. The Lord judges the crowd of the peoples. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness, and according to the integrity that is in me. And let the evil of the wicked come to an end. And may you establish the righteous. You who test the minds and the hearts, your righteous God. And she was with God, who saves the upright in heart. God is a righteous judge, and a God who feels indignation every day. If a man does not repent, God will whet his sword. He will with his bent and ready his bow. And he is prepared for him his deadly weapons, making his arrows fiery sharp. How the wicked man conceives evil and is pregnant with mischief, and gives birth to life. He makes a pit, digging it out, and falls into a hole that he has made. His mischief returns upon his own head, and on his own skull his violence descend. And I will give to the Lord thanks due to his righteousness, and I will sing praise to the name of the Lord the Most High. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's prayer. Please right hands, the Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as you have forgiven our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For this is the kingdom and the power and the glory of heaven. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.